This is Jonah Hill, and you're listening to the only podcast that matters.
Before we get to our guest of honor, Lawrence, keep these motherfucking lights on.
Throwing Fits, the only podcast that matters, is brought to you by our friends at Seasons, a members-only rental service for designer menswear. Me and Jimmy have been loving the shit out of Seasons, obviously getting off fucking huge fits in a conscientious way. We are wearing, we are swapping, we are repeating. There's a blizzard in New York right now, and I've got our Legace big old walrus puffer keeping me warm, safe from the elements from Seasons. Shout out to the homies, appreciate that. What's in your bag right now? What are you excited for?
My bag, well, don't worry about what's in my bag right now.
No pocket watching.
A waifish little birdie told me that new Nanushka's dropping on Seasons on Friday. You know, that's our new favorite brand, and the homie on the Juicy Zoomy, that's his favorite brand. So I'm going to lace up the laceless pod boots and get my ass expeditiously over to the UPS store so I can rent up that new Nanushka.
That Nanushka resort.
New.
ASAP. Use the promo code Throwing Fits, no spaces. Jimmy, how do I spell that shit?
THROWINGFITS. I struggled with that one.
Yeah, but I think you nailed it. That's promo code Throwing Fits, no spaces. Use that at checkout for 25% off on your first order, courtesy of the goddamn motherfucking boys. And not only are you going to get that discount when you sign up, but if you refer a friend, apparently now you can get like a month free for every fucking homie you refer. So use our promo code, sign up, experience Seasons for yourself, fall in love with the new, smart, conscientious way to be the best Johns enthusiast you can be, and refer a friend for another free month. Seasons, a better way to rent, bitch.
Throw gang, we are joined by the number one Malmomi, Sultan of Sunnies. He's not excellent, he's très bien, head honcho of the high-low, MVP of CDG. He's not a Hogman, he's got a hog, man. The Imam of Inter Milan, Prince of the Pitch, the Raja of the Racket. Simon Says, pod the fuck up, the Baron of Buying, the Shaman of Short Shorts. He is the co-founder, designer, and buyer for one of the best stores in the world, très bien, our guy, Simon Hogeman.
Yo.
What's up, Simon? What's up, dude? You're a humble Swede. Are you used to getting an intro, such a flagrantly nuclear intro?
Actually, James, can you record that for me so I can have it as my my wake up alarm in the morning?
This is a podcast. We're recording.
We're recording the whole conversation.
Right, but
this isn't a podcast. It's a Hogcast with our guys.
The Hog. Yo, welcome to the Hogcast. Wait, Simon, are podcasts popping in Sweden?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has been for probably the past 10 years or so, but I guess everything is getting bigger and bigger. So but it's definitely popping. It is
fire. Well, I'm so excited to just unite the two great lands of Sweden and not so great country of the United States of America with the Hogcast. The first thing we want to do, Simon, and I'm very much looking forward to this because you are a man of exquisite taste, which James kind of laid out expertly as always in the intro, but we want to walk the audience at home through the totality of your outfit in a fit check. The choice for you is, do you want to start top down or bottom up?
I want to start bottom up.
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Shoes. I am wearing my Agile Kickers, the camel suede derby. Been wearing them probably 5 days of the week for the past 6 months.
That's the collab that you guys did with them, right? Or they?
No, with Kickers.
Wait, James, what is the pair that you have?
The Adieu loafers with the horsehair.
The Très bien ones.
Yeah, the Très bien collabs.
Nice. I don't even have those.
They're rare. I just sell some very expensive sneakers in order to afford those. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so wait, can you show us what can you hold up the shoe so we can see? Just us, for our eyes. I would love to see your footwear.
I'm not sure I'm limber enough.
Ooh, chunky.
Ooh, oh, those are some stompers, dude.
Yeah, it's they're pretty clowny shapes, to be honest. They're quite.
You love a weird footwear option, don't you?
I do. Not too weird though. I mean, I don't like super weird, but
What would be super weird?
Mildly weird. Super
What's the
weird is
weirdest
like
pair you
something. The weirdest pair I got. That's a good question.
Some Prada, like the Prada where it looks like it's got like a tire tread on the bottom. Like, is that weird for you, or is
I think that's too weird to me. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. More like I never wore like Rick and stuff like that. That's too weird for me.
Gotcha.
More like I'm pretty traditional, but I think what James refers to is that I like shoes like these, or like a weird loafer, or not super weird,
or like a big bright sneaker.
But like we're talking about whether it's a loafer or like what you're wearing now, like just a lace up, but with like interesting materials, or like a big fat sole, kind of like the loafers that James have with the horsehair and the double crepe. Yeah. So it's like it's mixing the traditional with then just a little kind of little flair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. What kind of socks do you wear with your weird shoes today?
With my weird shoes, I wear nothing but Uniqlo socks.
Okay.
Ever. Oh, actually, during summertime, I wear lower socks that's from, are they called Tabi? Like the Margiela?
Yeah, Tabi.
There's a Tabi socks. It's a Japanese sock store that have a.
So even if you're not wearing Tabi shoes in the summer, you're wearing Tabi socks.
Yeah, but they're not split toe. That's just the name of the brand.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, my man's out here on his Ninja Turtle shit 24/7.
I thought you were packing some snooze between the toes or some shit.
No, not today. Actually, Jesse Hudnut. Shout out JJ Hud.
Shout out Jesse Hudnut.
Shout out Jesse.
Put me onto that shop in Paris, and I've been shopping every time.
Okay, so Uniqlo socks or Tabi socks year round, depending on the season. Got it.
This man knows what he likes. This man knows what he wants.
Of course, he's got exquisite taste, as we've said already 5 times. What about the trousers or pants today? What do we got?
Today I'm wearing a pair of Stussy, I think they're called Brian pants, just their regular straight fit, like a brown check kind of pant.
The juicy Stussy.
It's from, just a simple pant.
Is Stussy, how popping is Stussy in Sweden? Because obviously like the workshop Stussy collab from this past year. And then I know that you guys collabed with Stussy a few years ago, and it just seems like that like West Coast surf flair has always done well in the Great White North.
Yeah, I mean, a brand like Stussy is so weird because growing up in the 90s, it was kind of one of the coolest brands you could get your hands on. And then I felt like it just dipped down into something of like a nothingness. And then over the past 5 or maybe 10 years, it's just been getting better and better.
Absolutely. So that rise that we've seen in the States, that's also happening in Europe, right? So it's kind of
definitely.
I think you have 3 of the 4 people on the Zoom call to thank for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry,
we'll take
Chuck.
credit for that.
It's definitely not me. So it's probably
it's definitely not Chuck.
It's the only podcast that matters and the best store in the world. That's the kind of influence that it can take to bring your brand back from the brink. If anybody listening wants to fucking pay up to get their dick sucked, you know where to fucking find us. Moving on up, you have 2 shirts. What do we have? A sweater? It's hard to see. Sweater over shirt.
I'm wearing just a basic old Acne t-shirt underneath, and then I'm wearing what I call my safety blanket, which is my needles mesh. Like it's like a coach's jacket, but it's like a mesh. I've had it
see-through. Do you ever get if you're feeling sexy or freaky, you ever wear nothing underneath it so you can just have the hog nips popping?
I wish, but never happened. But I have.
You're too pale for that, dude. You'd be blinding motherfuckers. You need.
But it's like I've actually thought about that. It's really the light in here is just so white. I actually am not. I am pale, but
you need some sun buddies. Yeah. That's what you need.
Yeah,
I need some sun. It's fucking dark outside. And it's 4:23.
So it's been dark in Sweden for like the last 8 hours. If it's 4 p.m. there.
Yeah, but it's actually kind of a big difference. Between here where I am in Malmö and like Stockholm, for example, it's probably bright at least like an hour or 2 more here in the afternoon.
Oh shit!
Damn flex, sun flex.
Yeah. That's
why you named it Sun Buddies.
That's
why we're down here. Yeah, that's the only reason.
Also, it should be said that this is the earliest that James and I have ever woken up to podcast, which is
what is it now? It's 10 a.m. for you guys, right?
Yes, and we would only ever do that for someone with a stature such as yours. So thank you for jumpstarting that. I mean, as retired professional podcasters, James and I don't really do much, so it's always nice to have some motivation and an excuse to get out of bed and talk Johns with the best in the biz. And then over the Needles coach's jacket. You're kind of, I guess, wearing like an overshirt, right? What's then over that?
It's Winnie. You know the New York brand Winnie?
No.
Yeah. Jesse. And I think Jesse obviously is like, the fucking galaxy brain of emerging fire brands. Sure. I think that he is whatever. He's through him. We've heard about it. Yeah.
Cool. It's a new brand out of New York. Started for, I guess fall 20, I think.
Oh, damn. So it's like super new.
Out, it's super new. Yeah. We had the first season, which was this fall. It's really, really cool. And this is a baseball shirt, and it's like
like a jersey or t-shirt, or is it buttons?
No, there's buttons. Yeah.
Okay. So it is legitimately like a baseball jersey. Oh, that's sick.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pinstriped,
and it's like pinstripe wool. It's cool.
Fire. Dope.
Do you see a lot of fire emerging brands coming out of New York? Because Lawrence and I, we think the juice is back over here, all things considered. But we do think New York is finally finding its footing a little bit.
Another banger courtesy of Jesse that obviously James and I found because through Seasons, who Jesse also helps out with, Judy Turner.
Stockton Trebian.
Yeah, another smack.
Shout out Conley. He's so talented. He does.
So New York is back. What do you say, Simon?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of stuff that I don't even know of, but we've picked up a few New York brands over the past few seasons. So I would definitely say that juice is back. Do
you want to go on the record and say fuck Los Angeles?
Yeah, sure.
All right. There we go.
Los Angeles.
Awesome. That was very easy.
What was good from Los Angeles again?
Noon Goons, John Elliott,
Stussy,
born and raised. And there's just a lot of LA brands that are popping, like Fear of God, Rude, all shit. Even if it's not our cup of tea, like
that's true.
It's objectively popular, So
424.
I agree.
Yeah, 424. Shout out the homies.
Now I've said fuck them. So
right. And now you've burned every fucking bridge.
Yes.
So to complete the fit check, I think we just need to do the hat. What's that? What's the bucket?
That's like a faux fur Stussy bucket.
Okay. Damn, heavy on the Stussy.
Keeps I grew hair for the first time in.
Shit! Oh, yo, look at that. That's a dusty Caesar, my guy.
It's not that dusty.
Yeah, no, it's clean. It's a clean Caesar.
That's like it's a Matthew Williams Caesar, not like a Nav Caesar.
It is. Yeah, we need to get some gel on those bangs, dude. Get them real fucking crunchy, dude.
Frosted tips, maybe.
Yeah, frosted tips.
You normally buzz your shit, right? You're normally like full jar head, right?
I've done that for 20 years. Yeah.
Why? Why hair?
Diesel. I don't know. It just happened. From cutting my hair every second day for 20 years. Wow. I just stopped for a week, and then I stopped for another week, and then it's just now.
Is this like a midlife crisis thing? Is this like a pandemic thing?
I don't know. Maybe it's the end of life crisis. Who knows?
Oh shit! Well, we hope not. I mean, this would be a terrible last thing to put on wax. Is to be on this podcast. Because I would think that a dude who is like bicked up all the time, like you, would have like a trash hairline, but you got great hair.
I have a lot of people say that. They also comment on how dark my hair is. Every person that I haven't seen for a few months see me and they say, "Oh shit, you colored your hair," and I'm like. No, you just never saw my hair.
They just expect you to be stereotypically blonde or whatever?
Probably. Or
it's racist.
Like what you said, bald.
Yeah, or just a bald motherfucker.
Yeah, which I'm not. I'm just lazy, and I'm not lazy because I cut my hair every second day. So I'm definitely not lazy, but I'm just a creature of habit. I think.
And you're switching it up. Now, I think it looks fucking good. I mean, not that my opinion counts for anything, but I think you look fucking great, man.
Now I'm going to keep it. So
fuck. That's not the only podcast that matters. And then what's your panties?
The panties.
Finally.
H&M.
Really?
A Swedish brand.
Yeah, I guess.
Is H&M, is that your go-to panty of choice?
I don't really have one, to be honest. It just I just have tons and
boxers, boxer briefs. What are we working with?
Definitely boxers.
Okay.
Is the goal Trebien to one day be a fast fashion multinational conglomerate?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's the in-house. That's the brand of the in-house line.
I was going to say it's to me. I would admit that even though H&M is obviously Swedish and they're your fellow countrymen, I would say that's surprising because fast fashion is like the enemy, right? To some degree. But I guess if you just have one random pair that you threw on, that's like, we can't really. We're not here to fucking judge you, lest we be judged.
I appreciate that.
What about the wrist, though? Let's judge the wrist.
Yeah, what do you
the wrist? The right one?
The other one.
The other one.
There we go.
What's that, baby?
It's GMT from my birth year. I bought.
Ooh, birth year GMT. What's the bezel? What colors are we working with?
It's just old.
Is it a Pepsi?
Like me, yeah.
Just old like me.
Fire, dude. That is looking fucking spicy. If I could be so gauche to ask, what is the birth year? When were you born?
Oh, disgusting, Lawrence.
83.
83. Damn, that is a fucking nice ass watch, dude. Damn. Too bad the audience at home cannot see the beautiful satina.
Surely, yeah.
Maybe we should let the $20 tier tap into the live Zooms.
That could be dangerous.
Is there any other jewelry? What do we? Is that a complete fit check? What are you sipping on there?
Coffee. Sadly, with oat milk because the regular milk was out.
Sadly, with oat milk, is that are you having a little fika? You having a little fika moment?
No, not really. Just trying to stay awake. So
damn.
It's dark here.
Hopefully, our energy will transfer over. Simon.
Yes.
As you are well aware, the three main subjects of this podcast, the only podcast that matters, are Lawrence. Ready? You awake? Money.
Yeah. Ka-ching.
Meats and cheeks.
Sucking and fucking.
Everyone's favorite topic. But we're going to start with the most important topic, ourselves. Jimmy, Larry.
The goddamn motherfucking boys.
All right, I looked this up. Lawrence and I have been shopping, or I have at least. I've been shopping at Trebien. My first item I ever ordered was an Our Legace popover indigo, like little subtle flower pattern that I still have back in 2013.
Right.
8 years ago at this point, 7.5 really. Why did we only get on Flow Team 7.5 years later in 2020?
Were you never on Flow Team before that?
Never.
I got a free pair of Sun Buddies when I was at Complex, but that was when you guys just launched and you were probably seeding editors everywhere. And I want to come back to these sunglasses later because we need to rectify a certain situation. But outside of that, we never got anything for free.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, you never really.
What's your fucking problem, dog?
You just need to hit me up. I think that's the thing.
I do also think that
you needed Chris Green this time.
Chris Green, he's the unemployed Chris Green.
The unemployed now.
I'm thinking of Jesse Hudson. Are you kidding me? Busting that nut.
Yeah, you think I want to owe any favors to Chris fucking Green? Get out of here, dude.
But it was at the during the episode with him that the talk came up.
Oh, really?
Oh, with the Cardi of the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Oh, that's right. Thank you very much again. I mean, that shit. I mean, that mohair. If you were one of the lucky Johns enthusiasts to get your hands on the fucking spicy mohair, whether in gray or sunset, good for you because that shit sold out expeditiously.
Whole lot of gradient.
Yeah, for real. Here's a question about Flow Team. James and I, we're pretty thirsty, right? We complain on the podcast until we get noticed. How do you like to be approached? Like when it comes to friends trying to get free Sun Buddies, or even if it's shit from the souvenir shop, do you want people to just straight up ask you? Or would you rather give it to someone as a surprise?
I mean, I think both. I mean, it depends on one, my mood, obviously.
Sure. Always. How many beta blockers you've had that day?
How you feeling? Exactly. How you feeling right now?
Yes.
You feeling generous right now?
I'm feeling sheep, to be honest.
Okay.
You're feeling chic?
Sheep.
Oh, like sheepish? Oh, like shy up. There's no one listening. It's just the four of us. There's 18 million listening a week now, but right now it's just the four of us.
Yeah. Pretend 18 million people are naked listening at home, and then you should be okay.
It's probably at least half.
Fully hard.
That's 36.
Talk about Johns.
36 million testicles.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But
So
flow team and seating, I feel like, is not as common in Sweden as it is here in America, which is just like a fucking like marketing hack. In like Sweden, it's like, yo, if you like it, you would like actually support it because you guys are like honest and transparent and like, not fucking grifters like this country over here.
they have integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's a similar vibe here for sure as well. I mean, there's like influencers and stuff. I guess that's what you're influencers, right?
No. Are we?
No, listen, if you call yourself, here's the problem, right? It's the paradox, right? If you call yourself an influencer, you are no longer influential. So we would never claim to be, what are we going to be like? Oh, we're the only podcast that matters. Come on, bro. We're humble as fuck. We're the most humble people we know.
Let's talk about this in-house brand, though, the in-house Trebbian line, which is like from jump has been fire.
Bangers only.
Launched back in 2014. In your opinion, this most recent season, fall winter 20, was this your strongest collection yet?
Yes, definitely.
How has it evolved over the years?
It's it's been since we're like, as you know, like independent, we're a small company, we're all
same
in some way, in some way involved in most things. I think it's been
not the same over here.
I think it's been it's just been a natural progress of one, taste and style, but also two, knowledge. We've learned so much by doing, by learning by doing, basically. And of course, the team has been growing over the past few years with the collection. So we have a team of 4 people working with the collection, which is, we try to bring in really talented people that work hard. So shout out Très, Francesco, Felicia.
Whoever's doing, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off the last person, but no shout out that person too. Whoever's doing your graphics needs a fucking raise, because I think that the Trebbian graphics are top 5 in the game right now. Wow. Along with a new brand that we'll get to that you just started stocking, Jam. But Trebbian graphics, chef's kiss.
Simon, when you launched this brand, 7, so what are we at now? It's 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Like, did you ever think that it would get to the point that it is now, where there's a certain customer that when they think of Trebbian, they don't even think of the shop first. They think of like the brand itself. Is that like, was that the plan, or is that something that like just happens kind of naturally?
I think, bigger picture, it was definitely our goal to build something that was more than a store, to build something that's first and foremost a brand where a store and a fashion line is incorporated. So definitely there will be, I can tell you now that there will be changes with the Trebbian line coming season.
Really?
What can you tell
Spring,
us?
Summer 21.
Yes.
What changes? Are you going to fire the 4th person whose name I cut off?
No.
Sorry, Frau.
Everyone stays. Everyone stays.
Okay.
Felicia,
even the second guy.
The second guy will be here as well.
All right.
For sure. No,
but can you reveal?
I can reveal a couple of things. I can reveal that the Trebbian line, as you know it, will in a way no longer be.
No.
Sacre bleu.
But there will be 2 lines instead.
Really?
Which is really exciting. Yeah.
Are they
Swedish motherfuckers don't die? They just retaliate and multiply. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Are you renaming stuff, like rebranding, or is it?
In a way, yeah, you can say that. Cool. So if you guys remember this summer during the whole lockdown situation, we had to as you say in Swedish, make magic with your knees. Tala med knäna.
Does that mean you suck some dick? What does that mean?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. No, it means it means that you have to work with what you have, and we didn't have a lot. Like factories were closed, everything was closed basically.
You're taking lemons and you're making lemonade, is what you're saying.
Exactly. That's another saying for sure.
Right.
So we launched a super small capsule collection called Atelier, which obviously means atelier, but in Swedish. And we made everything in house. Every piece of the process was made here. and Atelier will continue and grow into something more based on the same idea, but
is that because the feedback
something more?
Is that because the feedback in the process was so great, or was that the plan?
I think it was partially a plan, but it was also partially just happened because it felt so natural that because we have that skill set in house with the design team that we can actually make stuff from a fabric roll into like a prototype and then sample and then actually make the garment. So
that's crazy.
It's going to be it's a natural process, I'd say.
So the manufacturing process, like normally you would go to a factory, right, to do that, but because of the lockdown, you have to do that in house. And like now you're realizing that you have all the capabilities to do everything, like soup to nuts, like the whole fucking thing front to back yourself. That's crazy.
Everything but the actual production will be made.
Okay.
In here now.
So it's really, we're talking about the sampling process literally happens in your office.
Yeah. And for the first round, everything was physically made here, but it's going to have to, for it to be able to grow and become something that not just, making a pair of pants can take 20 hours,
sure,
like a single pair of pants. So we don't have, and the factories are so much more skilled and have the machines and stuff. So it doesn't really make sense to actually make the garments.
This is kind of like DIY, but on like a level, like not just some kid, which is still cool, a kid like making something in his room and selling it on Instagram.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing, it's the same DIY mindset and mentality, but like literally at HQ, like at, which is really,
exactly.
Do you know of anyone else who's doing anything like that? That to me sounds like a bit disruptive.
I don't know. It's just, we haven't really, thought about other brands or designers. It's just
fuck them.
It was just yes, especially Los Angeles.
Sure,
we not the brands, just the people.
Yeah, just the whole city and everybody who lives there, and calls
especially the governor and the mayor.
That's sick. Damn, shout out fucking the big brains at Très.
So it sounds like sounds like because of circumstances, but also maybe this just also ended up being what worked. Très really integrated, right? And kind of like, not in exclusionary way, but like circled the wagons and really like focused on yourselves. And I think like we see examples of that happening because of COVID elsewhere, but like, and that clearly has worked for you guys. What have you, what hasn't worked for Très since like the pandemic hit?
Since the pandemic hit, having a store opened in London has not worked.
Okay.
I think we've been, we opened in March, Friday the 13th, which was a great day.
Dude.
Yeah.
That was foolish.
Yeah. We should have known.
Did you not consult a shaman or astrologist?
Yeah, we should have opened on Saturday.
In retrospect,
the 14th.
We should have. Yeah, we should have.
You missed
but we didn't.
And then the UK went into lockdown on what, like the 14th?
Yeah.
I think we were all there. 13th was Thursday and we opened on Friday. 12th was the opening party, and then Friday
the super spreader event,
first open day. Exactly.
So what's the status right now? Is it by appointment only? Like, what is even the deal?
No, it's total lockdown.
Fuck.
Everything is closed, and it has been. I think now it's probably going to be closed until mid-March. Who knows? And if so, we will have been open like 50 days out of the first 12 months.
Jesus.
And we were expecting to be open like 350. So it's been harsh.
What neighborhood is the store in? Where is it?
It's in the southern part of Soho, same street as Supreme, actually. So it's a decent
so what you're saying is the rent is not cheap.
It's not cheap, no. But it's we looked for spaces for 2 years, so we did our homework. And
have you been forced to pump the brakes on? I don't know if you're like looking to expand elsewhere, but have you been like, maybe physical retail is not the move?
I think the plan was to focus on London first and foremost. And if that would have taken off totally, we could have looked into more opportunities, but we didn't really have a bigger plan for the forthcoming, like the foreseeable future at least. But there is, of course, dreams and ideas to open elsewhere as well.
Sure. So for all the UK homies that are listening, when this shit finally opens up, I mean, this is, and like the amount of thought that you guys put into just the location. And I imagine like from your point of view, all financial kind of responsibilities aside, you just want to like share this with the fucking people, right? It's like, you just want people to see the fucking store, how sick it is, you know, just kind of continue, you know, that quest to be the best retailer in the world. So for anyone listening, whenever lockdown is up in the UK, please fucking go to the shop, fucking peep greatness. Goddamn.
Boris Johnson come through. What's the difference? What's the difference, if any, between the London shop and the Malmo shop?
I mean, the Malmo shop. So in Malmo, we have our headquarters. We have the office, we have the warehouse, we have the photo studio, we have the atelier where we make clothes, and we have the store. It's all in the same, all in the same building. So the store here, where I'm sitting right now, is just basically a continuation of the vibe we have in the office, which is Scandinavian, I guess.
IKEA showroom.
Yes. Yeah. All of it.
You also have this, like, do you have this IKEA light behind me?
You have this IKEA dresser behind me?
Definitely, that's a Malm, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think this is called a knot, N-O-T.
Yeah.
With an umlaut.
We get made fun of. We get made fun of for
a note. Yeah.
Is it fire? Is it fire? What do you think?
The lamp. It's a classic.
Thank you.
You fuck with IKEA. James and I get made fun of. People are like, "Oh, fucking nice IKEA lamp, nice IKEA dresser. You fucking broke boy losers."
There's great things at IKEA. I mean, I feel like the problem with IKEA is that often the finishing and everything is not the best. But there's definitely products in there that's really
classics
and great.
Yeah, aesthetically, it's blast.
They democratized home furnishings. People, come on! This is the disruptor shit. This is what brought GameStop to the top.
Yeah,
I want to talk about go back to the in-house line for a second. So, Très Bien on its own. I mean, we mentioned the Stussy collab. You guys have worked with Arla Gache. I mean, you've worked with the best brands in the world. Recently, the in-house brand collabed with Quarter Snacks.
Yep.
Got a Quarter Snacks down in Times Square. Mm-hmm. The Adieu loafers that I flipped some expensive sneakers to cop. Without, or maybe with giving something away, who is your dream brand to collaborate with?
Ooh, that's tricky.
Maybe just you personally, not thinking about the ramifications of like, you know,
just the Hogman.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always the obvious dream is to do something with Nike. Obviously, they're just
you guys are a tier 0 retailer, right? You get fucking I remember trying to buy fucking Air Yeezy 2s from you guys.
Oh, wow,
dude.
yeah. That was a crazy day. I was
sure.
I remember it clearly because it launched on a Saturday and we didn't really have the back end setup we have today on the website. And I felt like someone needs to be in the office. I was in the office by myself. And just like to manage, quote unquote, manage.
For the audience at home, he just
what's going on?
Gigantic scare quotes.
Yes.
What are you doing? Just hitting refresh over and over? Like, we need more power.
I had no idea what to do, but like I think I got like 100 new Facebook requests that day because I signed off the emails with my full name for some reason.
Foolish.
It's just like, it was a crazy day.
Has there ever been a bigger traffic day or a bigger release than the Yeezy 2?
I mean, everything has just scaled up since then. Both from the sneaker interest perspective, but also for us. So we probably
like the ALD 550 when you guys dropped that, just like whatever a couple months ago, that was massive too. Probably
that was big too, for sure. Probably not as big. I mean, I don't even know, to be honest, but there's been releases like Off-White releases and there's been Stussy releases and there's even some Jesus still actually is there's a really big demand for.
What brand does sell the best at Très Bien? Not just like what, hype release crashes the site and you have Simon in the back fucking plugging in wires and shit.
Accepting boost the servers, friend requests.
But just like across the board, what brand sells the best at Très Bien?
Across the board, Nike is definitely up there. Prada is actually not bad for us. Certain categories at Prada.
You guys have a quite robust Prada offering. The Prada Data, we might even call you.
Your Prada buy is fire. That's what I would say. It's like you guys buy the best shit.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you. That's the Prada way. They hold you to a lot of restrictions.
I'm sure.
To be honest.
Here's the flip. Here's the flip side. What's the worst selling brand?
The worst selling brand. There's a few.
Yeah.
It's also a really good question. The worst selling brand. We had a really bad, or we had a rough season with one of the really big brands we have. I don't want to name anyone.
Sure, of course, right? You don't want to.
But I mean, there's brands we have that we love, but that necessarily doesn't work insanely well.
Sure. It's what about for the love of the game. I get it.
Yeah. What about exactly. What various category is like the top seller? Like being that you're in Sweden, I don't think really matters because your e-commerce is so strong. So it's not like it's fucking outerwear and like boots and shit. But like what sells the best? What sells like what is Très known for? I guess what do people come to you for?
I think people come to. I mean, since we have good sneaker accounts with all the big sneaker brands. Sneakers is obviously a big part of our entire operation. But
is that surprising to you? Is that surprising, or is that something that you kind of sensed, even 5 years ago, that was where things were going?
Not really 5 years ago, to be honest. I mean, maybe it started taking off 5 years ago, but before that, I remember when we opened our first store, we didn't even have sneakers. I mean, there was a time in Sweden and probably at other places around the world, like 15 years ago, you couldn't get into the club if you wore sneakers. You had to wear like dress shoes. Otherwise you're like I don't even know what
you hating from outside the club. You can't even get in it with your sneakers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or what about like the common projects boom? Like you guys sold that kind of like minimal sneaker shit, but when we're talking about like sneaker culture, this is something that how it's gone crazy globally. This is something that like, it's kind of surprising to you. It seems like maybe.
I mean, yeah. And if you look like 10 years back, then yes, definitely. But everything goes in cycles. So, I mean, I kind of feel like the whole sneaker thing it's not ticking off maybe, but it's definitely, it's a comeback of the actual shoe or
it's the post sneaker world.
Exactly. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Do you get, are your sneaker crazy buyers, are they coming from the US or are they all like EU based?
No, I mean, our entire business is pretty split into a third to America, a third to Europe, and a third to Asia. So it's pretty spread out. Yeah.
And then kind of taking it back to just like the brand performance, what's a brand that Très that sells really well that would maybe surprise people? Because like obviously the sneakers move, obviously the product moves. You have the brand roster is fucking robust. Like what's the sleeper hit?
Yeah, everyone knows Stoney is going to move, but what's the surprising one?
Yeah,
thanks, Lawrence. I just said that.
Definitely moves. I'm actually gonna go onto the website and check.
Tapping. Oh, here we go. He's tapping into the mainframe. This is
Matrix.
We needed this Simon fucking on Yeezy 2 drop day, dude.
Yes, exactly.
Simon, your password is password 123.
Yes,
always.
You're sharing the screen right now. I can see everything.
Just to keep it safe.
Jill Sander actually is performing well for us.
Ooh, really?
Which is,
the new Jill Sander.
The new Jill. I mean, I feel like the Myers really made a good.
I also feel like that brand is like perfect for you guys, right? Because it's like that. I mean, even though the Myers are doing their own thing, when people think of Jill aesthetically, it definitely makes me think of like what you guys do, or even like, what is generally referred to as like a Scandinavian vibe. So that's actually, that's really,
I mean, I take that as a huge compliment, but I agree. Definitely. I mean, that's the high end version of what I think we are in a way. I mean, maybe it's lacking some streetwear vibes or something, but it's like aesthetically, it's very on point for us, I think.
But what Très has always been known for and has always pushed successfully is that maybe it's because you're socialists, right? Invading the deep state of the US, but you give equal love and equal marketing to like the big boys and the fucking small lads, like whether you're Jill Sander, whether you're, junior executive or quarter snacks, right? You're getting mixed in and styled well. And I think that, Très from jump, I don't think people really remember, but like the styling and mixing of like high fashion and streetwear was always kind of pushing the envelope, and that's why it's always stood out, and it's always been like very low key influential, just like the high-low mixing. So I guess like, looking ahead, now that that's like the de facto or the norm, how does Très Bien keep both the brand roster popping and the styling that you're known for like ahead of the curve and innovative?
Yeah, that's a big.
Besides hiring Jesse Hutton full time,
it's a long question. That was a key to success. Definitely, Jesse's been really important for us and has done so great things. I think to answer your question, I think that, I mean, we've always our entire business is based on like passion or like an interest in the industry in general and aesthetics in general, and I think growing up in Sweden, probably in a smaller city, it's been, I mean, the big brands we worked with today, I honestly I'm a little bit like intimidated to go into a Prada store even today. It's just like, it's not my element. And I think it's important for us to justify working with whatever we work with, that we treat everyone the same way. And that I mean, there's nothing obvious about the fact that like Prada is better than Stussy, for example, even though they're worlds apart in weight. They share values that I think you can do stuff with. And so I think that's a way to justify working with things we couldn't and probably still can't afford ourselves. So it's just it's important to mix it up.
Is part of you bummed that the kind of high-low styling and mixture that James talked about, that Très Bien is so important in like pushing that look and being ahead of that curve? So like, does that competitive advantage, now that it's like the norm, is that kind of a bummer for you, or is it like, hey, more good taste in the world, democratizing the stuff we love, like you're all for it, but like, could it potentially hurt the business? Have you thought about like weighing that?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I've never thought of it as a bummer. I think it's just the way I've always tried to think about things. So I just think it's really good that people. Yeah,
you're not gatekeeping it at all, right? You're just the more the merrier, right?
Cool. I hope we have other values that interest people and products, and like but we definitely could have. I mean, I'm not saying we invented it, because we didn't, but it's something that it was our claim to fame in a way. So it's, but no, I feel good about the fact that it's become the norm in a way.
For the people, baby.
Absolutely.
Love that.
This is why socialist democracy works, motherfuckers. Yeah. Shout out our King Bernie. Yo, this is really exciting. So you just added a TF favorite, a Throwing Fits, we love this guy. Jam just got added to the Très Bien roster.
Shout out Sam.
Which is awesome. And again, like when you see it on the Très Bien socials, it's just amazing that you guys are pushing like $40 t-shirts next to $4,000 fucking, high fashion. What are some other emerging brands? You mentioned Winnie, you mentioned Judy Turner. We talked about Jam. What are some other emerging brands, whether they're on your roster or not, that you're excited to see bubbling up?
I'm so bad at remembering. I see so many things, like especially now when it's buying season, there's
it's market
just
for sure.
Like I'm looking through, because we get deliveries like every day now for spring orders, and that was the first time we actually did orders 99% based on meetings like this.
You did Zoom for all of market,
basically all of it. Yes. And that was, I remember yawning a lot for 3 months. Even though it's
snooze, my guy.
Yeah,
yes, right. I know. My dentists don't agree, but
yo, Swedish dentists must make crazy money.
No, it's what's interesting is that the dentist tends to love the snooze because it just kills all bacteria.
Oh shit!
I never had a cavity in my life, so it's
you and me both, bro.
You got to make your body a hostile environment for all, bacteria and viruses.
Clean mouth, bill of health. Okay. So what are some other
shout out some small guys that you're looking forward to seeing pop off.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of some. Last season I was really excited, but we actually didn't end up picking it up. But Nicholas Daly out of London is a really cool brand. I mean, it's not emerging, or he's been around for years, but I think he's underappreciated for everything he does. He's really talented and a cool person.
Let's talk about sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Let's talk about maybe something of more recent memory, since you're failing to remember the small guys, but you just finished, as you said, the fall winter 2021, like you just finished that buy for that season. What are you super excited for?
For next fall?
Yeah. Just like you just did your buy, right? So like who you excited to bring into the world?
We're actually in the very middle of it. We've done I think we're going for another 2 months. I mean, our legacy, for example, is showing.
Oh, right. There's still people that need to show and present. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited about, we just picked up this brand from the Comme des Garçons incubator, or what do you call it? Called ERL out of Los Angeles.
Oh, that's Eli Russell Linitz, the guy how you pronounce it, who used to be Kanye creative director.
With the yin yang hoodies.
The yin yang hoodie was a big one.
It's cool. I really,
that collection, that lookbook is crazy. It's very, super artistic, right? Versus just like pure Johns. Very interesting shit.
It's cool. I'm not easily impressed, but I think that was really cool.
You're bullish on that. So you guys are like, your stock, like you bought what is it, like a lot of like basics, like hoodies and stuff, or is it more conceptual stuff?
It's, we try to do our thing with everything. That's probably the biggest key, circling back to what we talked about before, about what people come to us for. I think that's what we're hoping that people come to us for, that we try to make our thing out of every brand we buy. We always say shush to the salesperson if they're trying to push something onto us, and say we have our own idea, and
there's a point of view, there's a perspective that like you can.
We try to at least, and there's tons of brands that I maybe personally like, but that I don't feel fits the filter of what we want to do.
Kind of like Nicholas Daly, like you just said, right? Where it's like, I can appreciate this guy,
in a way,
shout him out, but maybe it's not the right fit, at least a specific collection for the store.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you excited to stock as we move into the warmer months? What are you excited to stock up at Très Bien for this spring, summer?
I think that the collection I was the most excited about for spring was Jill, which we've received parts of, and it's looking really good, I think. Other than that, Legacy did a really solid, a little bit smaller collection, but really solid spring collection that I'm really excited about.
Ooh, age up for that home.
Have you guys seen that? You've seen pictures, right?
Seen the pictures, yeah,
but not been hands on with anything.
No. Okay.
What about? Simon,
really good.
I mean, the motherfuckers don't miss. Simon, as you're cruising around the world digitally over Zoom, and receiving spring, summer, looking at fall, winter of a year from now. What are the trends that you think are going to really take over in 2021 on a macro scale?
Ooh. Hit us with that forecast.
I think that I'm in a way hoping that we're moving a bit away from the whole, like, I'm not going to say all of streetwear, but parts of streetwear. I feel like it's time for the dude to grow up a bit, including myself. I mean, I'm wearing.
Interesting. So this is like the grown, James and I have been calling this the grown ass man streetwear, where it's like, taking the things that you love, right, that you have probably loved for many years. And then like, maybe it's like a more mature version of that stuff, or it's about mixing and matching, like with some new stuff that, like, there's a lot of kids that are listening to this that probably have never owned a pair of pleated trousers, but like, that's something that you can wear with a hoodie.
Let's ask the master right here. If there's a kid out there listening, and there's only 18 million listening with rock hard dicks right now, all 36 million testicles, unless we have some homies that have, lost a boy or two to testicle cancer.
And one woman, there's one,
and there's one girls. Yeah. So,
Allegedly.
how would you advise someone to transition from like all streetwear everything into this like grown ass man streetwear?
That's the trick question. That's hard to get around. I think
Just shop at Très Bien. Is that the answer?
That's always the answer. Yes, that's why I'm here. This is a marketing move for me. 100%.
Of course, right?
Only want to. I'm giving out discount codes at the end. So just
all you have to do to get the discount code is friend you on Facebook, right? And then
exactly. Yes. Yes.
How about tell them to friend your brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
To annoy his ass.
Yeah.
So is it for you like is there like a silver bullet, like a first step that someone could like easily take, or is it really about just like feeling it out and finding, like, obviously we could say feel it out, it's $1 million question, it's different for every person, personal style is so unique, but is there any kind of like foundational piece of advice that you would say, like, I don't know, maybe it is buy your first pair of trousers, or I don't know,
I think that's a good start. Buy a regular, like whatever I'm wearing. It doesn't come across as streetwear, but it's Stussy, and it's just like a simple pair of pants and something that's not a pair of sneakers. I feel like a snob now, which I'm not. I mean, I only wear streetwear, so maybe I'm just projecting what I feel about myself being 37 years old. I should grow up. It's not about everyone else.
This whole podcast, by the way, is a vessel for projecting. Yeah. So don't worry, you're in good company.
Then I'm come to the right place. Great.
Yes.
Do you ever feel like, this is a valid question, do you ever feel as you grow older, like a little insecure that like, I'm just like into clothes?
I mean, in one way, yes. I mean, I've always questioned what I do personally as working in the fashion industry. I should grow up and like become a teacher or something, but not really in another sense. I don't know. It's I'm very ambivalent.
But you think about this. This is something that like keeps you up at night.
Maybe not keeps me up, but I think all the time about random shit. So it's I think it's just like the person I am. But yes, I'm definitely sometimes questioning what I do, but I do love it, and I do think as long as we do everything exactly the way we want it to do, then I can again justify everything I do for myself, because I do love it, and I think we are doing something that
it's important.
That is interesting.
Space. Yeah.
And I think one of the
space of menswear.
One of the most interesting aspects of Très Bien is actually the souvenir shop, which I don't like. Is that a way where you can tie in other interests outside of just like clothes and Johns, but it's like literature, art, photography, music? Like, do you want to like, should the people, is that a good place to maybe for the all streetwear everything kid to like kind of grow their horizons a little bit?
For sure. I mean, that's the since we're 90 now, we have a shop in London that's close, but it's other than that, we for the bigger part of the world, we're a online based company, so everything just tends to become a little bit flat, and who we are as people and what we like, other than the products that we buy and try to sell, it doesn't really come across. So I think that's the way to build some more vibe about who we are and who we tell more of the story. Yes.
So would you say
I think that's a great advice
for someone listening that is not familiar with what you guys do, but is falling in love with you and your magnetic personality right now? Your advice would be hit the souvenir shop and catch a fucking vibe and fall into the Très Bien universe. That's the entry.
Exactly.
Point?
Yes.
All right.
Well, Simon, despite all the typical Swedish melancholy, I don't want you to lose that spark. I want you to remain a child at heart, because that's like, hey,
stay golden, pony boy.
You are through and through a sneakerhead. Even if we are transitioning into a post-sneaker world, or some of us are already there, the point of the post-sneaker world is to have one foot in both. It's not to just be blindly shackled to the fucking hype releases, right? You are a sneakerhead, and we want to know, some big moments in the fall/winter 21 runway shows that we've seen so far have centered around the Nike Foamposite. What do you think of the Nike Foams renaissance? We had the Louis Vuitton flip on the foams. We had the Comme des Garçons Foamposites. What's your take there?
My take is that even though it's not like 100% my personal style, I think they're really cool.
You ever worn foams?
No, I don't wear mid cuts. That's not. My shoe.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's that's like a higher. Yeah, that's a bigger shoe for sure.
Yeah, I feel like basketball was never my sport. So I own one pair of low Jordan 11s, 9s,
Okay.
11, I don't even remember. 11s.
9/11s.
9/11s, exactly. Shout outs.
Oh, 9/11.
No, but it's been a minute.
But you can appreciate the foams, and you will be selling the CDG foams, I'm sure, right? Like that
Yeah,
seems
for sure.
like it can't miss.
I'm gonna make that. I have that order tomorrow, actually. So
damn.
Another
Big,
what did you guys think about it? Did you like them?
well,
No.
I think James and I have alternate opinions. I think it's a very cool CDG take on an unexpected style. I would listen, they did Forces, they've done 95s. That's like, they've done the Moab, which I guess was also a bit left field, but I never expected to see a foam. So that right there is interesting. And then the way that they did it with like the fucking moldy crop circles are like crazy.
Yeah. I heard it from Nike
like
6 months ago and didn't know what to expect, like what they were actually going to look like. But I think I feel like they made a nice comb twist to them.
If you were to get blessed with that Trebien Nike collab, what model are you going to freak?
Ooh,
that's also a big one. I honestly, since Nike is they're a big old company. They try to put the collaborative part into a mold where they
it's not like you have a choice, but like when they come to you, they're like, this is the shoe you're going to do. But like,
this is the shoe we're pushing this year. Yeah, exactly.
If they came to you and it was just a coincidence that they gave you your dream shoe to work with, what is
carte
that shoe?
blanche, or they gave you carte blanche?
I think to answer the question, without answering it, is to say that the best Nike shoe ever made is the low Air Force Ones to me. But at the same time, there's only so much you can do with a pair of Air Force Ones. So maybe that's not the most fun shoe to do something with.
Sure.
Maybe something from the ACG archive. There's tons of really cool.
The Lava Dome or whatever.
The Lava Dome, for example, was great. Something like that, maybe.
You're a big ACG guy.
Not big. I do like it. I like it sometimes. I feel like it's very like they had a weird transition where they made like the retro inspired line at the same time as the
acronym shit that Errolson was doing.
That's the acronym shit. Exactly.
What do you think of what we're calling, or what a lot of people are calling GORP, but that like outdoor trend where you see Arc'teryx becoming this like, hype collaborator, and you have ACG flying off the shelves? Like, what is that happening also in Sweden? Like, because obviously there's outdoor culture there, like, and with snow sports and stuff. Like, what are you guys seeing in terms of like hiking, outdoor GORP stuff? Is that trending?
I think, yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like that trend is just universal and was probably fueled by the fact that everyone is going into nature now. It's definitely happening. I'm not sure if there's any like, there's a few Swedish brands. We collaborated a few seasons ago with a really old traditional brand called Hogloves.
Yeah.
We did the
Hogloves. Yeah, we've heard about those from Hogeman. Yeah, the Hogloves.
How that's interesting. Has that like spread to America? Is that a brand that you find that in America?
Not really. No. The Swedish, like the super technical Swedish stuff hasn't really hit. I think it's more been like the Pacific Northwest, West Coast, American shit.
Is Fjallraven Swedish? Yeah. So that, I mean, they always, they're those little ass backpacks are all over the place in those big parkas, but outside of that, not really, which is interesting because you would think that, even like Arc'teryx, right? That's a Canadian brand that's like not blowing up. It's always been popular, but it's like being seen in a new light in the States because of this universal trend. It's interesting that Hogloaf and some of these other kind of traditional Swedish corpy brands have not really broken through. Maybe that's why they need more collabs with you guys, right? They need that they need to be put on that Summer Jam screen.
Yeah, it's all up to us.
Yeah, right, exactly.
The entire Swedish GORP culture is on your shoulders, Simon.
Exactly. Damn.
What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
I know you said that you're not a big Rick wearer just because it's not your personal style, but what do you think of the Rick Owens Converse Turbo Dorks?
I feel like they make sense in a way. I feel like they're very Converse and they're very Rick at the same time. I'm sure there's a customer out there
with a big ass tongue.
Do you guys carry Rick at Très?
We used to, yeah. years ago.
Years ago. Interesting. Yeah. But it's something that maybe so is there any brand that you guys carry that like nobody who works for Très Bien wears, or is everything kind of like, because like if nobody's wearing Rick, even though Rick obviously is like a bestseller and a popular brand, I can see why you would be like, this isn't right for us. But I wonder if there's any other brands like that.
Yeah, I think that's why we stopped. It's just it didn't really feel natural to us. Authentic. Exactly. It didn't feel like, because there was no one here in the office that rocked it, and then it just didn't feel honest in a way. I think everything we carry now, there's definitely something from every brand that someone in the office could wear, and we try to. I mean, I do all the buying together with Jesse and Alex, our guy in London. Shout out Alex. And if it's not something that either of us would wear, we wouldn't buy it. That's our philosophy.
Throw it in the bin.
Yes.
Simon, I mean, you've been in this game for, I don't know, for like 15, 20 years now. You've seen it all. You've seen the dizzying highs, the terrifying lows. Yeah, way too long. You should retire, bitch. What are your favorite brands of all time? Whether they're in the shop or not, just like
Mount Rushmore.
Who's tickled your pickles since Jump?
Yeah, let's do 4 brands unranked.
Mount Rushmore is 4. Yeah, best of all time.
Or your favorites, not best, actually.
It's your favorite.
You personally, Simon Hogman.
Me personally, number 1,
Top Hog.
Dries Van Noten.
Ooh, the Top Hog, Dries.
The Top Hog. Yes, he's. I could never afford it, but I've always loved it. And now that we've worked with him for 10 years, I actually have some pieces. But he's always been, to me. He's also a great, I think, transition between like, because his some of his things are very like streetwear adjacent, even though he probably wouldn't love hearing that.
Or like the silhouettes, right? It's like a trucker jacket or it's a camp collar shirt. And it's like, it's going to be in a crazy print, amazing fabric, but it is
some big blousy shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
If you squint and look at it, it looks like a lot of things you probably have in your wardrobe already to some degree from a shape standpoint.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually have a pair of really short, like flowery shorts from Dries. So yes.
All right, that's Top Hog. Who's Hog number 2?
Hog number 2 is Comb in general.
Sure.
But maybe that's not. Does it need to be more specific than that?
No.
You mean like Homme Plus, right? Like the men's line, or you mean? Yeah. Okay.
I mean just Comb as a universe in general has intrigued me more than most over the years. Also, Ray is a genius.
Can I run a theory by you that is probably going to blow your dick off in terms of flattery? But when James and I were talking about before we got on the pod with you, just talking about what we love about Très Bien, I was thinking about like, you guys have an amazing store. You have an amazing in-house line. You have Somebody's. And what I told James is that when I think of the universe that you guys have built, and in it to a smaller degree, right? But like that's what kind of Comb has done too. You have Dover Street, you have all of the in-house lines. You have obviously they have their incubator that we talked about. But like to me, is that something like? So would you say that you guys look to them directly as like inspiration, or is it just like that's just the path that any fashion store would want to go down if they had the capability to?
First of all, that's the level of flattery I can't even receive. So it's just like,
he's blood.
Thank you.
He's no longer pale. He's no longer pale. He's slightly pink.
I'm all red. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's overheating from flattery.
Yeah. No, but that's really great to hear, obviously. And
have you ever thought that thought yourself?
I mean, yes, and not as specific as that, but there is an old picture of like the Comb universe. It's like painted as a galaxy, and there's like different like meteors or planets or stuff with like their different line. We've had that as not as a specific goal, but as we have been wanting to do different projects and try to.
It's like a blueprint, right? Because it shows, it's like empire building, but in an authentic way, where it's like we want to make the sunglasses that we want to wear that aren't in the marketplace. We want to make the clothes that don't exist in the marketplace, and then we want to have a store that has all the other shit that everyone else is making that we love. So to me, I think it's admirable, and not many. I don't think there's many retailers that could say. I mean, even think about the States, right? Union Los Angeles is one that kind of comes to mind, especially with like how they've kind of doubled down on their position as a collaborator with the Jordans, which is like super influential, and then like their own in-house line. But it's a very short list, right? And you guys are definitely on there. So I just think that deserves to be mentioned for sure.
Wow, cool. Thanks.
Have you ever met Ray? And did she like your fit?
I have met Ray. Yes, we didn't speak. I don't think you speak to Ray. To be honest,
you speak to what's his name?
You don't
Jeffrey?
look directly as
Adrian.
Jaffe.
Yeah,
Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian's actually been to Malmo when we did like the first season of Somebody's. We made a collab with Dover Street, and then Adrian came to Malmo.
What do you think of Malmo? It's like the sushi here is trash. Why is all the fish rotten?
Yes, that happened for sure. That's the only thing I remember, actually.
All right, so you got we got Dries, we got CDG.
Yeah.
Who's bringing up the hog rear, the back half of the hog?
Oh, Jesus, I should have thought about this before. This is
you should have.
Snout to tail.
Lawrence and I've been up since 5 a.m. putting together this run of show.
Yeah, really
right when Chuck stopped streaming.
Yeah.
I want to say that so based on the brands I've wore the most throughout the years, our legacy is actually on that list. I don't want to flatter them that much, but they are.
Why don't you want to flatter them? That's the homie.
I'm kidding.
Yoakum actually provided some decent intel. I was like, "Yo, what do I ask? What do I ask the Hogman?" And Yoakum was like, "Yo, I got you." So we got
the
some
Joker basically
questions coming up. No, I'm just kidding.
Co-wrote the after. So for anyone not listening, you're going to want to hit www.patreon.com/throwingfits to hear all of the amazing hypotheticals and would you rathers that Yoakum put together for Simon.
Arlagace, let's be honest, fucking runs Stockholm. And Trebien obviously runs Malmo. You're the Malmomies. Is there any like friendly competition between Stockholm and Malmo because I know Malmo has some creative juice. You guys are known as the Berlin of Sweden. Stockholm obviously is the fucking, the GOAT. I think it's the capital. I don't know. Do you guys have capitals? Does socialism have capitals? I don't know.
We do, we have a king. We have a king. Even.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fuck that
How
king.
Progressive.
Very.
Can I go to jail like in Thailand for saying fuck the king?
I don't.
As the royal family?
Maybe, yeah. I don't think here. No.
Is the king on flow team?
Fuck the king of Sweden in Thailand, you go to jail. Is the Royals?
Are they on flow team?
Yeah,
they're not. No.
Do they have good swag? No. Does anyone in the royal family have any swag?
I mean, no, not really. I don't think. I mean, I don't even think about them. A lot of people really love.
Damn, he hit him with the Don Draper. Shit.
It's just I don't know.
I don't even think about you ever.
Are there any single Swedish princesses?
Ooh.
I should know that.
Or queens.
There's no queen. There's a crown princess and she's married and has kids. And then there's another princess and she's married. No, there's no single princess.
All right. Move on to the next monarchy.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Okay. Lagace's up there.
Wait, so is there a healthy rivalry between the two?
Yeah, Stockholm, Malmo.
I think
kind of like the New York, LA thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, the cities are so different. I think most people in Stockholm don't think about Malmo. We're like they consider it to be like the dirty South down here. It's like
you're the Atlanta of Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Black Hollywood, but white.
White Hollywood.
The mainstream media refers to Malmo sometimes as the Chicago of Sweden.
Chicago's gas. Chicago's fire.
Yeah.
Chicago's very.
I think they mean it in a bad way though.
It's
the crime rate and stuff.
Fuck the mainstream media. That's the end of the people, bro.
Yes.
Is when it comes to like the goats of Swedish menswear, at least modern menswear, like is Très Bien like number one? Like who or excuse me, is like Très Bien and Lagace, like who would you say is like, the top dog in terms of Swedish menswear?
I think, are you asking for my personal opinion or the?
Yes, of course. We're always asking
my personal opinion. Then, oh my God, that's just impossible to. I don't think. I mean, we're a niche company, so I don't think if you ask 1,000 people in the streets in random places in Sweden, no one would know who we are because we're very niche. But
if you know, you know, though. So
if you know, you know, yeah. And I think that's our thing. We have like a loyal following of actually interested people.
What are like the more main? I know H&M is like as mainstream as you can get, but like what's between like our legacy and H&M in terms of what's popular in Sweden? Like any brands that we would know?
Acne.
Oh, Acne, obviously. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
What do you? Is Acne? And you mentioned you're wearing an Acne T-shirt, right? Is Acne? Like, have they fallen off to you? Are they too mainstream now? Like, what's your opinion on Acne? Your honest assessment.
My honest assessment. I think that when we started with Acne, it was we went a bit outside of the box because I mean, Acne in Sweden is like a super commercial brand, and in the rest of the world, it's like it has like a higher approach to things. It's more expensive outside of Sweden. It's they have a show in Paris, both for men's and women's, and they have a stronger appearance outside of Sweden. So I think
their brand is seen differently from the outside versus at home. Got it.
Definitely. And I mean, they even had lines that they only sold in Sweden. That was like super commercial, basic lines. And I think that they've grown, and so they're more like at the same level. They're closer to the same level in Sweden now as in the rest of the world. So I think for us as an international company, I think it's actually less commercial now. But it's, I don't know if that even.
What? Before we finish up, the base of the hog with number 4. The bottom shaft.
I forgot about that.
Swedish brands. Who do you put up there? Yeah.
Oh, Mount Rushmore of Swedish brands.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna make it short. Can I say Très Bien?
Yes,
of course.
Okay. Then I'm gonna
foremost
then I have to put Très Bien. Then Our Legacy, obviously, because they're on the official Mount Rushmore.
That's true.
There's not a lot. There's not
Tree Torn
happening. Tree Torn.
Yeah.
Raven.
Fjällräven. Actually, Fjällräven it's really OG. I'd put Fjällräven up there. Actually, yes.
All right.
And then maybe
is Herno Swedish? No.
Herno, no. They're
okay.
Aren't they like Swiss or Austrian or something? No, it's not Swedish. I think
similar but different.
So, yeah, same but different. It's then maybe Acne, just to say something.
Is there?
It's hard.
Everyone talks about Scandinavia just having like so many fire brands. And Scandinavia, correct me if I'm wrong, is Sweden, Denmark, Finland, or Norway.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there competition? Is there a friendly rivalry? I know there's a friendly rivalry between Malmo and Copenhagen. Do you guys have beef with Denmark? Do you guys have beef with Denmark at all?
Definitely, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, fuck them.
They're the weird baby brother.
They're the Canada to you guys.
Do their brands not slap?
I'm trying to think if we have any Danish brands. I don't think we do.
Give Norse.
What's like the big store in Copenhagen? Oh yeah, Norse, and then what? Storm is the big, or what is it called? What's the big store in Copenhagen?
Yeah, shout out Rasmus. He's OG. He used to he carried Dries in like 92 or something.
Woo!
He's been around.
Flex alert.
Simon, let's wrap up the main hog. What is the base number 4? Not that, they're unranked. Like these could be any part of the hog.
But I mean,
Dries, CDG, Arlagache.
Yeah, and then I mean, it's really boring, but I have to say Nike. It's been the sole constant throughout the adulthood of my life.
Oh, of course, and childhood too, I'm sure.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes childhood.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends. It depended how good your grades were. I don't know if they hand out grades. At
you were in Tree Torn Nylights until Tree Torn Nylights until your 18th birthday.
Yeah, can't dunk in Nylights, dog.
Simon,
to be honest.
Obviously the entire industry is going through seismic shifts, and the consumer behavior, retail capabilities, production period, right? Are you generally optimistic or pessimistic about the future of the fashion industry?
I think that depends on which day you ask me. I generally
ask you today, motherfucker.
Yes, and today it's really dark outside. We're in the midst
and
of
you're doing this godforsaken podcast. So
you act like it being dark outside is like not a fucking everyday phenomenon.
It's just more apparent these days. But I think I'm generally, honestly, pessimistic.
Really?
I feel like, especially, I felt optimistic in the beginning of all of this, what happened last year and is still happening, the pandemic. And I felt like now things can actually change. I mean, the business is run by really big brands that just do whatever they want to do. They just scatter the market with clothes that no one really needs. I mean, not that none of their clothes is needed, but it's just too much. They just there's like some brands have like 8 seasons of a year, and it's just like even worse.
Cruise
in
collections, collaborations, special projects. Yeah.
And I felt like now's the chance for like the bigger brands to take their responsibility and actually change things and make everything more like sustainable and better, just care more about things and people. But it's not really happening, to be honest. It's I feel less and less I feel less for like working or like buying bigger brands. I appreciate the smaller designers more and more for every year that pass by, and just like shout out to everyone who's struggling, and the anti shout out to everyone who's just
fuck them.
People over. Yeah.
Do you feel as a store that is, obviously very successful and arguably, top 3 in the world, in our opinion, at least. Do you feel like you have a responsibility to uplift the people that are doing it right, and like the younger, more emerging or smaller people,
independent designers and brands?
Yeah, I think everyone has a responsibility. I mean, even the end consumer has a responsibility.
Even podcasters?
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
Right, okay.
I mean, you have to make money as well. So it's
shout out all the patrons. Shout out the afters.
Shout out patrons. Exactly. No, but I think that everyone has a responsibility, and that includes us for sure. I mean, we've always had standards when it comes to like certain products that we never want to sell, and we don't want to, like fur, for example. We've never sold fur and will never. And
oh shit, good for you guys.
And I just think,
leather?
I mean,
do you sell leather?
We do sell leather,
yeah. That leather Trebien jacket is, whew.
Yeah, that's smacking, dude. Fuck.
Well, my Howie Blink shit with that.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
You should have one.
You know our addresses. You know where to find us, baby.
I have it in the FedEx system somewhere. Yes.
I love that.
All right. Well, a recent venture, kind of that we've talked about, but I want to focus on right now is Sun Buddies, right? This is kind of like the most, well, I guess besides the London store, the most recent venture of the Trebien universe. This shit is front to back heaters.
So good.
My go-tos are like a cat eye.
You wear the Ethans
frame. Yes. Fucking love those in the tortoise shell. Why did you think that it was time or necessary or that there's even like a lane to launch a sunglass brand?
I think actually we launched Sun Buddies before we launched the Trebien line, because we were so subconscious that we didn't feel like we were good enough to launch.
Oh, you were self-conscious about
self-conscious.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah. So it was like you dipping your toe in the pool of being like, maybe this could work.
Concept.
That's literally what it was. And I mean, I guess we saw an opening that like no one's really doing like a cool sunglasses brand that's not super expensive or over the toply like designed and stuff. So I think that was the main reason that we felt like that was like exactly what you said, dipping the toe in the pool.
And I think as Sun Buddies, as their exposure and knowledge about them, at least over here in the States, rises, thanks to your goddamn motherfucking boys, What is next for Sun Buddies, would you say?
Next is we have a few collaborations in the works. One coming this spring and another one this summer. That's the next big venture, I'd say. We have a new round of Carhartt. We did a Carhartt whip collab a few years ago. We're doing a second
we need
round
our guy. We need our guy Dirty. Steve.
Yes.
Dirty. Bang my line. You have 4 Instagram followers.
Simon, what's your favorite Sun Buddies model?
My favorite Sun. That's tricky. I mean, I designed all of them, so it's
big fucking flex alert.
Yes, that's why I said it. No, but actually, the one I'm the most happy with is one of the first styles was called the Uma, after Uma Thurman, which is like a weird, like, it's funny with Sun Buddies because I'm not a designer. I'm not a trained designer. I don't know how to design. I just like aesthetics, and then I try
the Uma. James, this is what you have.
Uma is the round version of what James has.
Oh, okay.
So Uma is like a cat eye with a round lens, which is just weird. And it looks, if you show it to an actual designer, they're going to say this is off. And then we made a re-edition of that. So I changed it. I saved the top frame and then the top line, and then I switched the bottom line around and made a square shape out of it. And it became the Ethan. And Uma was obviously married to Ethan, together with Ethan Hawke, so that's why they call Uma Ethan.
Got it.
Are they all named after like people in movies?
Not movies only, no.
Okay,
but they're all named after people who we think are cool.
Can't wait for Jimmy and Larry. Yeah,
let's fucking go.
We'll save it for constructive criticism, but yeah,
the Chuck could be a monocle.
I think Chuck would come first, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
it should. Simon, I want to ask you a question. You know, you're popping over here. You have stores in Malmo. You have stores in London. Why don't you have a store in New York City? The rents are cheap now.
Yeah, where's it at, dog?
I've heard.
We need that shit.
Yeah, that would be the obvious next step for us. I mean, if we ever were to open a store elsewhere, that would be.
Have you thought about where in New York?
Where in New York?
If we're in New York, I would have to consult someone who's
maybe more, 2 residents. You know, exactly. I don't know, just something, like
or just Jesse Hudnut.
Yeah, or Jesse
Hudnut. Yeah. I'd ask you too as well, but I mean somewhere downtown probably.
Sure.
Have you given any thought to physical expansion into Asia? You said a third of your business is done there, and obviously, like, that's the future. And so many brands are making inroads, digital, physical, in China specifically. But like, I know you're a big fan of Japan and Japanese culture and Japanese brands. Asia. Sure.
I think the next step would be somewhere in the western part of the world first. I think that's closer to, like, everything we do. We want to keep it close to the core of who we are, and we've always been inspired by cities like London and New York over cities like Paris. I mean, it's as simple as that. But I mean, Tokyo would obviously be. It's probably the favorite place on earth I've visited so far. So that would be amazing.
That would be incredible for sure. I mean, we've talked about, stores, we've talked about the in-house brand, we talked about Sun Buddies, obviously, like, expansion into the Western world, you said would be like next on the docket, assuming we weren't in the middle of a global pandemic. But is there any other kind of grand design that we haven't mentioned? Like, I don't know, do you want to start a fucking record label? Do you guys want to open up some kind of like art studio? Like, is there anything else? Yeah. Launch a podcast. Is there anything, is there an arm to add to an appendage to add that we haven't mentioned yet that you would love to kind of dig into for Très Bien?
I mean, that would be really cool. I think we have so many things we still want to do that's slightly closer to what we do. But for example, where I'm sitting now, where the building is connected to a small hotel, it would be really cool to take over that. I mean, we won't, but it would be cool to have the
hospitality.
Yeah. It's just what like 20 rooms or something. That would be cool.
Let's extrapolate what that vibe is. What would be like, would it have like a fucking speakeasy in it, or like what would be special about the Très Bien hospitality?
That'd be nice.
I don't know.
I think it would be very
mixology.
Mixology. I think it would be a sparse experience. It would be very like, no
very
one would
Swedish
say
experience.
Very Swedish experience. Yeah, it would be nice and cozy, but cold at the same time.
I mean, that would be that's kind of like a natural extension into like not just like what you put on your body, but how you lifestyle and the home. I mean, at that point, you're going from a small example of the CDG universe into another amazing, gigantic universe. The Giorgio Armani, they have a hotel, or Versace. Versace's a hotel in Dubai. You ever see Très Bien becoming like Versace? You could be you want to be the Johnny or the Donatella?
Johnny's dead, so I don't want to be
murdered. See, it's very dark out. You keep saying it.
So would you like to live, or would you like to be murdered? I believe is the best way.
And how would you like to be murdered?
Yeah, exactly.
Strangled with some grease.
These questions are, I mean, pretty dark. But I want to answer all questions. So I think that's a good question. Maybe something quick.
Shoot to the head.
But maybe like without even noticing. Like,
smothered in your sleep.
Back of the head or something.
Yeah.
Sniped.
Something
like Chuck
basic stuff.
Something quick. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We've spent an hour plus talking about ourselves. Let's move on to the second topic of this podcast, which is the thing that makes the money go round, lest we like it or hate it. Money.
Diamond. Makes the world go round. That's what you meant to say.
What did I say?
Yep. You said the thing that makes the money go round, money, which is
technically
also true.
Yeah.
Also true.
Yeah.
Simon, I know that everyone in your socialist country makes the same amount of money and everything is expensive and everyone's broke because socialism doesn't work. How much money do you, as well as your other comrades, make?
Good question. It's, you wouldn't be impressed. That's all I can say.
Got it. How much money would you like to make though? Like if you had to aspire to hit a number and then just cruise, like what is that number?
I think
in dollars, not kroner, please.
In dollars. It's just, I never honestly cared about money that much. I mean, I want to live a life where I can do what I can do within my standards and have I'm very simple like that, and I think we all are. We have a salary. Obviously, it's a decent salary, but we try to invest every dollar into the company again, so we can continue. Because it's just a blessing to be able to work with what you like, and for that to grow into something that you want it to be. It's easy to reinvest the money into that rather than owning a car. I don't own a car.
Ban all cars. Fuck cars. Lawrence and I.
What's your dream car?
We invest. Doesn't have
tricky, like an old Mercedes 80s random car. Nothing
gets
fancy.
2 miles per gallon.
Nothing flashy. Just something that's really shitty for the environment.
Exactly. Yes.
Gets you from A to B.
I meant a hybrid. That's what I meant.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes, that's
clarifying.
There's a glitch in the audio. Besides spending money back into the company, which is what Lawrence and I do with our money. What do you like to spend your money on? You're a simple guy with simple tastes, simple needs, but like, what does that mean? What do you typically spend? What does your budget go towards?
My budget goes towards, now I do literally nothing. I play video games. I watch movies. I play tennis. That's like 3 times a week, maybe 2-3 times a week. Other than that, I hang out with friends, go out eating. It's just, I'm basic.
What video games are you playing? And this is where Chuck can chime in.
Do you have a PS5?
I don't. I signed up like 8 months ago, still waiting to receive it. I have a PS4 and Switch.
So what do you play? Like Crash Bandicoot? Like
Twisted
No,
Metal?
I'm more like, I play most things. The last game I finished was the Ghost of Tsushima, if you know that.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
What's your review?
I think it was good. It was, I liked the artwork's great. The story was a little bit repetitive, but in general, I liked it. Before that, Last of Us 2, which I like too.
Scary.
And my go-to online game is Rocket League, which is
Rocket League
yeah.
rules.
Are you competitive?
You guys, yo, Simon, do you want to get on Twitch with Chuck at some point?
yes, for sure. What rank are you?
Oh, I'm not. I just play for fun. I'm a beginner at that game.
Okay.
Are you dirty? Wait, Simon, are you like fucking fire at Rocket League? Are you a
No,
pro?
not really. No. But I started like a year ago, and I've been playing fairly consistently. So it's.
Let me explain to James. Rocket League is like Twisted Metal meets soccer.
Wait.
Oh wait.
What's your team name?
Malmomies.
That's a TF original.
Wait, Simon, is this a fair assessment of Rocket League is Twisted Metal meets soccer, right? Basically,
yeah.
Like you're in a vehicle,
basically,
and you're trying to score goals, right?
It's footy with RC cars.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's footy with
exactly.
gassy.
yeah.
It sounds pretty
It's
fire.
gassy
All right,
footy.
That's exactly what it
let's
is.
move on to the third and final topic of the only podcast that matters: meats and cheeks, baby. Simon, so like, from the outside, the perspective view, and this is both objective and subjective. The Simon Hogman personal brand is super cool, super stylish Swedish guy who runs one of the best stores in the world, right? Great fits, doing awesome things with his homies. Recently, though, you've added a new element onto your IG personal brand, which is your thunder thighs. All these IG story photos of your thighs in short shorts. Are these thirst traps? What are these?
Not really,
traps.
no, I'm just bored, I guess. I don't have a plan with my personal brand. No.
Do you get?
I thought you were going to say fishing.
Fishing? No, I'm talking. I'm talking. Man,
we're talking about fishing for compliments. Talking about fishing for compliments with your.
I don't get any
juicy thighs.
You never respond to my stories, so I don't know. Yeah.
You don't get any reaction on the juicy thunder
Really?
thighs?
Not really. No.
People don't send you the white bread emoji or anything as a response. Would you say that your thighs are your best physical quality, your best physical attribute?
I honestly couldn't tell you. It's no, I don't think so.
Another number two behind the hair.
I don't know if I have any, to be honest.
Well, it's the hair. It's the hair number one, and then the thighs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a new man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We just heard from Chuck recently in the video game section, but we're going to turn it over to him completely now. We're going to allow him to unmute himself. Chuck, you're welcome. And in 30 seconds of thirst, he's going to ask you anything, pitch you on something. Chuck, take it away, buddy.
Simon, so you've clearly mastered the whole having a clothing store and dressing really nice and looking fucking cool. So I was wondering, like, if you weren't doing the Très Bien thing, like, what do you think you would be doing for a living? Like, what would you like to do?
I would. I would be like something like a teacher or something. If I just relived my life, probably.
What kind of teacher would you be? Would you be like strict as fuck or one of the cool teachers?
I think I'd try to be one of the cool teachers, but strict.
What subject and what age?
I'd probably ideally be like middle school kind of.
Damn, that's the hardest.
Middle schoolers are scary.
Probably, yeah. But my mom was a kindergarten teacher for like 40 years. So I think maybe it comes from, and my dad taught Swedish to newly arrivals from other countries. And so I think it's in the genes somewhere.
What topic would you want to teach? Or are you one of those like all around teachers?
I think if you teach middle school in Sweden, you're like an all around teacher. I'm good at like Trivial Pursuit. I'm like very I have a
you know a lot of
brain.
Useless information is what you're saying.
Exactly. I have a flat. My brain's flat. I know tons of things, but only one thing about everything. Yeah.
It's a spaghetti farm. It's a mile wide, but an inch deep.
Exactly.
Yeah. If we had to describe his brain in 2 words, it's fucking flat and smooth as hell, baby.
Exactly. Flat as the earth.
Yeah. That would be a good lesson to teach to your Swedish sixth graders that the earth is indeed actually flat. Yeah.
Well,
right, Simon, I don't know if you actually buy clothing because, I mean, you do, like, professionally, that's what you do. But, retail wise, I don't know if you like buy clothing, but we want to know, what was the last John you copped and what's the next John you got your eyes on? Full retail, no flow, no fucking friends and family, wholesale discount, none of that shit that, Lawrence and I don't get enough of.
Wow. I haven't bought anything the last year since I've been home, and I haven't bought anything here.
Really?
Clothing wise, I don't think so. I honestly can't remember. The last time I traveled, I probably bought something maybe in London. Maybe I bought the Palace kickers, the only Palace piece, like slime green kind of boat shoe with a lug sole.
How does it work with your wardrobe and the Très buy? Like, are you able to just kind of be like, yo, hey, I need to look cool. I'll make the fucking co-founder, head buyer here. I'm going to a showroom with Ray. I need to get one of everything.
Yeah, not one of everything, but I definitely buy stuff that I know that I will end up buying myself. Yes.
All right, Lawrence, I think you should take advantage of the store.
You take advantage of the personal order.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's also why I don't shop a lot.
Right.
I mean, I sometimes get the urge to shop, but I actually tried to buy a pair of the Stussy. They made a collab this like a month ago or two with Harris Tweed, maybe. They made like a suit, and the pants were really cool. I tried to buy them, but I failed. So
well, what's the next John that you got your eye on that you're going to cop?
I just like 5 minutes before we got into this, they were unpacking some Jill stuff, and there was a green sweater that was just
calling your name.
Die for.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Beckoning the hog.
Yes, awakening.
The hog rises.
The hog was awakening.
All right, Simon. You are a man of exquisite taste. You run one of the best stores in the world. We want to know what you're fucking with, what you're not fucking with in the segment we call Fuck With Not Fuck With.
The working title.
We're working on it. We're going to throw some categories at you. You tell us what you're fucking with in those categories, what you're not. First up, sneakers. What sneakers are you currently fucking with?
Currently fucking with, I am, I weirdly like the new Asics runners that Kiko has. Like, Kiko is not like co-branded, it's like consulted on them.
Sure.
It's like a line of, we've had them.
Yeah, those are fire.
I fuck with those. I will forever also fuck with, I'm just seeing behind you, Lawrence, the 990s or 992s or whatever they are. They're forever.
Are you are New Balances? Was that something that like you, because obviously New Balance had like the best 2020, at least in terms of like, our world. Were you always a kind of New Balance head, or is that something that like you were kind of, that's like newer? Like, are they even there in Sweden? Like, what's the deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, New Balances, there's even 990s,
England, right?
Like, yeah, for sure. And for us, it's been 2020 has been insane. We've honestly struggled with New Balance for years until like a couple of years ago.
That's crazy.
Like, we had to put like 990 gray 990s on 50% off a few years ago. And
really?
It's just like,
damn.
we could sell, infinite.
Credit to you guys then for sticking with them, because like now I'm sure you can't even keep any of those fucking models in stock at all, whether it's a collab joint like the ALD 550 or if it's just like a fucking 990, in gray.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Insane. It's really insane.
Cool. What else are you fucking with right now, sneaker wise?
What's happening now?
Don't ask me.
That's for you to tell us.
I know. I'm 2 days of the week. I wear basic white Air Force Ones low.
Do you like the Supreme? Do you like the Supreme joint, like with the super subtly branded Air Force One, or are you like it?
I think I wouldn't buy them, but I do like them. I think that's like I prefer when they do that with their logo instead of blowing it up like over the entire thing. For sure. Yeah,
but when you mentioned like what could you do earlier, when you were like, I would love to collab on an Air Force One, but what is there to do? I think that's the perfect example where it's like, you can like do it in a tasteful way, or you can take it completely left field. But there isn't really somewhere in the middle.
I definitely agree. I think that's well done.
Good job, Lawrence.
Shout out Supreme.
Yes,
shout out Supreme. You're blowing up. That's fantastic, James Jebbia.
What sneakers are you not fucking with right now, Simon? Or even like if you want to talk kind of on like a more macro trend.
I'm not fucking with designer sneakers
at all.
I want to say at all. Yeah.
Are they in? Do you have a few in? Do you have any in the shop or no?
We have. I mean, I fuck with America's Cups,
Okay.
but other than that, I can't think of. I saw a random Dior sneaker on Instagram today that was like, Jesus Christ!
Was it at the presidential inauguration of our 46th president, Joe Biden?
It actually wasn't those, but it was like a.
You're talking about like the lawn. You're talking about like also like the Lon Von like skate shoe, the Osiris D3 they did. That's everywhere. Those are pretty bad. I don't know.
Yeah, and like no, and Versace and
Valley. Oh, the Versace ones are terrible.
Do you like the Margiela Cum sneakers as a Hogman?
I prefer. I like the replicas in white.
The Gap.
I have
the OG.
Yeah. That's as far as I stretch.
Do you want to do real quick a Mount Rushmore of sneakers, top 4 all time?
Ooh.
Forces white low, right?
Forces white low, yeah, 100%.
990s.
I think 990s in gray or black, probably gray. Yeah, 990s in
What
gray,
V?
definitely.
V4, V3.
I think I like V3, but I think V4 was the one for me.
Okay.
Then what else is there?
Halfway there.
Halfway there. I'm trying to think of what's actually. I think that the Jordan 11 lows are would be on there as well.
What colorway?
The one Jordans you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. The is it the Concord, the black and whites?
Yeah. Black and white is Concord. Yeah. So the Concord lows. Those are fucking classy, dude. I fuck with those. That's kind of like that's the America's Cup, right? Or the America's Cup is like that. Yeah.
That's exactly how I see it, actually. So that's definitely it. And then
what's the fourth?
The fourth. I'm trying to think of any Adidas. No. Actually, the Campus 80s is one of my favorite shoes, but
classic.
Don't think I want to put that on there. One of a shoe that I don't wear a lot, but that I have is the first Kiko Asics shoe, the neon yellow.
The gel Burrs, the OG.
The gel Burrs, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you have those in like that slimy yellow green? You have a pair? Yeah. What size shoe?
Wow.
Those 10. Are iconic. Oh, dude. Oh my God. All right. We're going to have a talk off pod. I want to name your price, dude. Those are, how beat up are they? Are they cooked?
I've worn them like 5 times maybe.
Oh my God, dude. You should sell them. You could probably get like 5 G's.
I like them.
They are really fucking good. Yeah. The only other person that's come on this podcast, and this should be no surprise, that not only has those, but the full fucking, I believe all 3 colors, Chris Green.
When are we seeing some Trebian? When are we seeing some Trebian footwear, non-collaborative?
Good question. Hopefully sometime. It's just if we want to do stuff at the level that we try to do stuff, it's just a big investment to make shoes.
Exactly.
It's just not the easiest.
Simon, put some kids onto some non-sneaker footwear that you're fucking with right now. It's like grown man shit. Just get out your fucking stylus and start taking notes.
You mentioned kickers.
Adja is always, shout out Isabel, she's the sweetest.
This is the adieu, like the Trebian adieu. You guys just have French names. You had to do it, right?
Yeah, basically. So those all-time favorite, like more like dress shoe, Alden for me. I have a pair of
classic
old Horween leather Darbies that are amazing.
Those will last till you die.
Yeah, for sure. They're also so comfortable. They're like more comfortable than any sneaker. I wear them like without socks. No problem.
I mean, that sounds like a recipe for some stinky feet.
Yes.
Stinky shoes, but just fucking super molded to your dirty dogs, you know?
Exactly.
Worth it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Simon, we've said this throughout the hour, 2 hours that we've been here with you, hour and a half. You run one of the best stores in the world. Like, you don't need our help, but we're going to give it to you anyway in the form of constructive criticism. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Like, again, running one of the best stores in the world, one of the best in-house brands in the world. Somebody's slap. It sounds like you have some big things on the way. But me and Lawrence, we want to see you level up always. So again, constructive criticism, take it or leave it. I'll go first. If you're looking to diversify your revenue streams, something that has been a boon to both amateurs and professionals around the world, especially during the pandemic, is OnlyFans. Why don't you start an OnlyFans where you just sell photos of your thighs?
Yeah.
I know like at least 4 people that would sign up.
Yeah. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You got to paywall those fucking pasty thunder thighs, dog.
Yeah.
You know? But I have a private Instagram account. So
really? Finsta. What goes on there?
No. My actual account is private.
Oh, you're private.
Yeah.
So you're not flashing these gams to the world?
No, I'm not.
So what are you going to do when you get 18 million Instagram follow requests next Tuesday or today?
You just suggested OnlyFans. So I guess that'll be it.
Maybe you have a week to spin up the OnlyFans and we'll send people that way. But just so you're aware, you're going to get a lot of Instagram requests. So you're just going to have to, it's going to be like that, your Facebook shit when you drop the Yeezys. I mean, that's doing this podcast is basically the equivalent to.
Yeah, everyone go follow Simon Hogeman.
The Air Yeezy too.
Rhymes with Pokemon.
So after you do the OnlyFans and you kind of get that revenue stream popping, let's talk about Sun Buddies, right? Obviously, some of the best sunglasses in the world. The only sunglasses James wears. I had that OG pair that I regretfully traded to my younger brother for a pair of Persols, and he still wears his Sun Buddies that they were an OG, like clear blue, more of like a Wayfarer. And I think that instead of just being like, yo, send me free sunglasses, that would be corny and thirsty. And I would never, ever do that on the podcast. But maybe James and I could model some sunglasses for you guys. So that way we wouldn't feel guilty when you gave us a bunch for free. Maybe you can collaborate on some sunglasses with me and James and name them after ourselves or our son Chuck. You know, there's a lot of opportunities, I think, in the sunglasses space, like 2 faces that were, made for podcasting. That's all.
That's a great idea. Hit me up. Let's make it happen.
We just did. We just hit you up about it.
But we need like signatures and stuff.
Oh,
it's like,
all right.
We need a paper trail.
We're really serious here.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Right, yeah. Us too, to be fair. So we need the paper trail. You great.
Right.
While we're talking business, I don't know if you've noticed, but Lawrence and I released in a full calendar year 2 pieces of merch, a T-shirt and a pair of shorts. Everyone, focus on the boots and the loafers, but the T-shirt and the shorts, those hit fucking numbers, boy. I don't know what, you're moving with, like, Jill Sander, Prada, it's Comme des Garçons, whatever. Give us a spot in the souvenir shop, bro. Stock the Throwing Fits merchandise in the souvenir shop. Let's fucking prove to you that we move units there, and then we'll graduate up to the big boys. And you can put us next to Jill, put us next to fucking Ray Kawakubo-sama, put us next to the Prada. Stock us in the souvenir shop. Step 1.
Yes.
All right. We don't have any merch yet, but when we do, we'll send you a sample.
Yeah.
Yes. Great.
Yeah. It's a TBD type situation. So we'll obviously, and feel free to place a personal order. You know what I'm saying?
TBD or C.
Ooh. Or THC.
Not THC. That's something else.
TBC. I don't know what that means in business, but yeah.
It's
TBD.
Confirmed instead of determined or whatever D means.
We'll CBD our signatures over to you.
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, we're serious. So the last letter.
Yeah.
matters.
Speaking of serious, the last piece of constructive criticism kind of revolves around, big questions, right? This is a podcast. We like to think big questions only, we're not no fucking meatballs down the middle, hard shit, are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? What is VAT tax? Chuck was trying to figure that out earlier. We don't know exactly what it is, but have you thought about a Swedish exit from the European Union, a Swexit, if you will, so that we could abolish VAT tax and we could have Johns for all?
Yeah, that's a really good. I think there's a following for a Swexit here, actually. So, but it's not the people you want to line up with.
It's like it's like the Nazis up in the north.
Sure.
Right?
They're basically right-wing psychos, fascist psychopaths. But I will say that one of the best things about ordering from a store like Très Bien is not just supporting the amazing, great people and work that you are doing, but it is getting things fucking cheaper, dude, with that ex-VAT tax. So we just want everyone in Sweden to also know what it feels like to not be a part of the European Union and not have to pay that upcharge, that value-added tax. So,
I'm happy
just
for
a thought. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, just lead that political charge. All right, Simon, thank you for coming on to the only podcast that matters. Where can the kids request to follow your private Instagram account or shout out whatever you want right now?
Yeah, plug.
Oh, fuck. Shout out me, I guess. Shout out to shout out you guys. Yeah. I mean, you guys are shout out. Yeah. Okay. So not you.
No, we're good. We're doing fine. Just Très Bien.
This is our show. I mean, you don't need to suck our dicks. We want to suck yours, dude. So what? Follow Très Bien. Follow Simon.
Follow somebody's. Obviously, that's
follow somebody.
Somebody's.
Okay.
Follow Jesse Hudnut. Yeah. Follow the bro
Jesse
Hans Hogeman.
Yeah, follow Hans.
Yeah, that's tricky for you guys to say. Hannes.
Oh, Hannes.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to follow him, do that. But follow, you can follow him. He has a cute son now, who's my nephew, I guess. So
that's your nephew.
Follow for pictures of Sigge. Shout out Sigge, definitely. Shout out Sigge.
Yeah, shout out all the nephews.
Nephew in all the land.
Yo, shout out all the nephews. Shout out all the uncles. Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
That matters.
Thank you, Chef. Take us out.
I want all shooters at my funeral. Only real niggas at my funeral. There's gonna be 10,000 bitches at my funeral. Niggas gonna have them bitches at my funeral. There's gonna be some superstars at my funeral. Driving in exotic cars to my funeral. Niggas that whip that brick hard at my funeral. You might get your ass robbed at my funeral. They tell me stay about the streets, niggas trying to end me. This all I know. I was born with this shit in me. But I don't leave the house if I ain't gotta send me. My niggas ain't pouring no remedy. They don't let drink with me. I'm all around the globe, just me and Billy. We counting benches, bitch, we bout to cop some Bentleys. Matching Bentleys, just to be specific. Should've seen this bitch I had last night, she's so terrific. And she know I'm a fucking menace. She look like Taraji P. Henson.